Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project Magnetic Reversal News in Shinrin-yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Monday, April 11th, around 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2022. The models are in heavy snow, blizzard conditions moving through the northwest. And that's the big story. Portland sees its first significant April snow in over 80 years. Holy macaroni. Keep calm. It's boom time. Now, the records are falling. The Portland metro area woke Monday to several inches of snow, creating a slick morning commute and kicking out power for thousands. Still tens of thousands without power in the state. Now, the National Weather Service extended a winter weather advisory for Portland and the surrounding areas through noon Monday, saying an inch or two of snow could fall through the morning hours. An 82-year of record keeping at PDX, the Portland International Airport, had never recorded more than a trace of snow in the entire month of April. But that ended all today on the 11th. Holy macaroni.
That morning commute, not looking great. Let's get over to Don Hamilton with ODOT. He joins us on the phone right now. Don, thanks for waking up with us. I never thought I'd be talking to you about snow on the highways on April 11th. What the heck is going on out there?
Well, how about that? I didn't think we'd be talking about snow at this point either, not in the middle of April, but here we are. We've got snow out there, mostly at the upper elevations is where the biggest problem is.
Yeah, so were you guys ready for this?
Well, we've been watching the forecast over the last couple of days, and we actually had our crews in the yards on Sunday and getting our trucks ready, getting the de-icers ready, putting the plows on. We were watching, and we were trying to be ready for this, and we had them out there at 4 o'clock in the morning getting ready.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because we're, close to the middle of April at this point.
Wow, what a revelation. Now, she must be a genius. What we're seeing is what we've been predicting for the last 5 years to occur during this, the next sequence of events here during the Grand Minima. Cycle 25 has kicked off, and even though we're going into Cycle Max, we still are reporting on historic blizzard likely as severe storms threaten millions for the fourth week in a row. The winds are blowing 70 miles an hour out the door here. It's insane. Now, for the fourth week in a row, the continental United States will experience multi-day severe weather outbreak as well as a historic blizzard in mid-April. Now, this isn't unprecedented. It has happened before. But snorkel alert, winter is roaring back across the west. Shut up, Al! Get your snorkel off, I can't believe that guy. Now back to the snorkel alert. Take a look at the powder there. Holy macaroni. April deepness for the west. The models for this week look deeper for a broad area of the west than any time since December. April turns into January as significant snow will be falling from the Pacific Northwest through the Sierras. In much of the Rocky Mountain Range, 20 to 30 inches will be likely for many areas through the west. Is it April or December? Well, according to Al, he's in his hole, and the global warming goodness will be falling, and the big winter chicken dinner looks like North Dakota. And we've been calling that for about 6 days now, North Dakota. So I hope you're prepared. Thousands without power as rare spring storm blankets Portland. Rare? It's never happened before. That's beyond rare. It's unprecedented. Never has snow fallen more than a trace in April, and several inches fell mid-month. And that means power outages. Now, they're not exceptional. There are 27,000 without power in Oregon, 13,000 without power in Washington, 23,000 in California, and these numbers will move east as the storm progresses, unfortunately. April snowstorm smacks Tahoe. It's absolutely dumping snow out there. Hello! Looks like whiteout conditions. Snow was falling at the UC Berkeley Central Sierra Snow Lab on Echo Summit. A winter-like cold storm smacked the West Coast on Monday, dumping several inches of snow on California's Tahoe Basin in April. More storm activity is expected through Saturday, and over the course of the week, elevations above 6,500 feet could record totals of 1 to 3 feet of snow, said Jim Matthews. And they're getting slathered. Let's check out some of those snowfall totals. Now, while it doesn't look like any of the Sierra numbers are up, we're looking at the last 72 hours in the Northwest. If I could just blow this up here and we could take a look at it. There's still several feet of snow to fall in the west, and already 30 inches and more in many of the high elevation regions has come down, including most of Oregon there in the high country and all of Washington in the high country. Now, this snow is going to track east. It's already tracking through Idaho and Wyoming, where some heavy snow totals of over a foot have fallen. And North Dakota is going to be the big winner in the morning. So let's check out that model. Here is the movement of the snow here. Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning. And you can see up to 2 feet of snow will already be covering a third of the state of North Dakota. So that's going to be the blizzard conditions up there. And we'll quick take a look at the watches. So there's going to be snow all the way down through the Sierras, Tahoe, Nevada, Utah, the high country, all of the mountains of Colorado, all the way down to New Mexico. Ho-ho. And we're back, and we got video. We haven't been up on video for quite some time. Now, if we just progress the models forward, there's nothing significant through the end of April. Maybe some more totals moving down into in the west here, which is going to be good news. There's going to be more snow for the Sierras, more snow for the Southern Rockies and the Central Rockies, and potentially a little nor'easter and more snow up in the Northeast through May. This is not a normal pattern. Been watching this for over a decade, and this is quite different than the end of many other winters and could be quite significant. Now, because the models don't mature well out in the long term, what this is showing is something different. Heavy snow through summer, and it could be a bummer. So we're going to keep a close eye on this for you, as well as the rest of the world. Now, major storm to impact the con-U.S. through midweek. The strong winter storm will move into the Pacific Northwest today before tracking eastward across the plains. It's insane. And that will happen tomorrow and into the Mississippi River Valley on Wednesday. Threats associated with the storm include blizzard conditions across the northern plains, extremely critical fire weather across the high plains, and a multi-day severe weather threat from the plains to the Mississippi River Valley. Now, luckily, the severe weather threat won't kick in until late day Tuesday into Wednesday as it moves through the southeast here. But take a look at the blizzard warnings and watches in Montana, in North Dakota, and South Dakota. That is insane. That's dozens of counties. So heads up there, winter storm watches and warnings all the way from the Pacific coast all the way into Minnesota. And that is the sign of the time. Seismic update, no quakes to note. Good looking patterns here. Nothing imminent and nothing dangerous. Just normal activity. Worldwide volcano news. We have Popo, Fuego, Ducono, Nevados de Ruiz. And Fuego's popping to 15,000. Nothing significant. Discrete ash from Popo to 21. Nevados de Ruiz puffed to 28,000 feet a little earlier ago, as well as Ducono puffing to 8,000. And we have Semaru and Shivalush. And the last update there, the residual 25,000. So not a lot happening in the volcanic realms in the most recent times here. We did have a filament eruption the other day, and it was Earth-directed. It created a coronal mass ejection because of this halo CME we can see here on the pattern, and it has been modeled by NOAA and NASA. Now, the solar filament located near center disk erupted early Monday morning, beginning around 4:55 UTC, and this generated a faint halo coronal mass ejection. I thought nothing of it, and it appears to be squarely Earth-directed. That's the difference. This one's bringing most of the density right at us, and an impact to our geomagnetic field is predicted by April 14th, and it originally predicted at G1, popped up to G2, and now maybe even G3 is coming up on the models. So what we're going to do is we're going to real quick take a look at the models with you. And here is NOAA's Enlil spiral. And as you can see here, you're going to see that filament come out right there just the other morning. And look at that density is coming. Green ball is Earth. Boom! Right there on the 14th. So, and this could be, here's the radial velocity. It's going to stay high, thick, and long here. So that could be quite interesting. Could be a long duration geomagnetic storm of moderate level. And beginning right there now on the 14th, UTC, early in the morning, which would be 6 hours earlier on the 13th for us. So, and let's just go back and let's see what they're forecasting here for the forecast. There we go. So, right at midnight UTC between the 13th and the 14th, we could pop up to KP 5 and then get up to G2, KP 6. in the second pulse, and then a little reverberation here potentially. So nothing significant. This is the prediction, and we'll see if it works out. Because, well, these space weather events haven't been working out the way we thought they would. So we're keeping a close eye on the telemetry, the modeling, and, well, we're going to witness it in a day or two here. So stay tuned for the boom. Now, an interstellar object exploded over Earth in 2014. Declassified government data reveals. Now, this classified data prevented scientists from verifying the discovery for 3 years. But one such crazy man over at Harvard, I think, is claiming that this is an alien spacecraft. We'll get to that in maybe another podcast. But a fireball that blazed through the skies over Papua New Guinea in 2014 was actually a fast-moving object from another star system, according to a recent memo released by the U.S. Space Command. Now, the object, a small meteorite measuring just 1.5 feet across, slammed into Earth's atmosphere on January 8, 2014. After traveling through space at more than 130,000 miles per hour, a speed that far exceeds the average velocity of meteors that orbit within the solar system, according to the 2019 study of the object published in the preprint database at ARXIV. Now, the 2019 study argued that the wee meteor's speed, along with the trajectory of the orbit, proved with 99% certainty that the object had originated from far beyond our solar system. But if you're claiming that it was a spaceship and the object is 1.5 feet wide, they got to be some small aliens. That's all I'm saying. And it's probably bullshit. Now, how to get started with prepping, which is not bullshit, and probably the most important topic to be talking about with you, your neighbors, and your friends and your family. This is a step-by-step guide. It's idiot-proof. So if you think that you can't begin because you haven't begun, well, you're far from the truth. Prepping used to be a term that brought up images of paranoid people locked in military-style camps with watchtowers and guns pointing out. But now, the general public is finally waking up to the idea that having food on hand, if food skyrockets or is unavailable, is a practical idea. Go figure. Now, number one, let's start with the proper mentality. 99% of the public that think preppers are crazy, lunatic, conspiracy theorists can all suck it now, because they're all running around in a panic thinking they haven't prepped enough and they don't know the first thing to do. Now, prepping isn't a set of steps to take. It's a thought process. It's a mentality. It means you accept that a disaster could strike. Any type. We have no idea if an asteroid's going to hit in 5 minutes. We only locate them seconds before they enter the atmosphere. We have no idea. We have no idea if there will be an EMP event from China or North Korea, or if Russia will attack the mainland. No one knows. But take some time to research the most likely disasters which could occur. And if you've been watching the channel, you know that the sun is the number one reason why we're prepping. Because once the grid goes down, everything shuts down. The internet, payment systems, the places you buy food, all gone in an instant. Then the looting begins. Do you have enough weapons? Can you go loot? Will that be your demise? The first few days of the event? Well, that will be the demise of the majority of people. So I suggest you read the article if you haven't started prepping. And get up to speed. This is a step-by-step guide to get you there. You're welcome. A couple other things I want to talk about before we leave tonight, and this is some stunning footprints that have been uncovered in the last few years at White Sands National Monument, New Mexico, which happens to be just a few dozen miles from the first annual Squatterman event, 2022, in Ruidoso, New Mexico. And this is a plasma petroglyph tour and conference, May 14th and 15th, where you can book private tours, you can book a general petroglyph tour, and you can join us all on Sunday for some amazing conversation, question and answer sessions, live roundtables. It will be amazing. And it's extremely affordable. Now let's get back to the footprints. because they're only a dozen miles away. And what they show is that humans had been walking around North America 23,000 years ago. Now, just a few years ago, it was a controversy if you said that anything earlier than 12,900 years ago, there were no humans on North America before then. And then the Clovis idea came out. Well, there were no humans before Clovis. They were just an early Ice Age man that came across the ice-free land bridge. And then the Solutrean paradigm. Now, the problem is that the Smithsonian, Dennis Stanford, and even myself have collected Solutrean artifacts and Clovis artifacts, some of them dating back 17,000 years, from the East Coast, near major metropolitan cities like Philadelphia. In fact, some of the points I found were near Norristown, Pennsylvania, in a cave, dating pre-event, pre-Younger Dryas event. So, there is evidence for at least 5, 6, 7, or more decades, and the Smithsonian has been hiding this, that humans have walked around North America for at least 20,000 years. And now, thankfully, a group of scientists found some footprints recently uncovered from a flood to push that date all the way back to 23,000 years. Now, if families were frolicking in mud puddles 23,000 years ago in White Sands, New Mexico, they probably didn't just get here. Well, it's anyone's guess. If you want to know more and you want to have amazing conversations, join us in the desert in Ruidoso, New Mexico, April 14th and 15th at Squatterman 2022, the Plasma Petroglyph Tour, right next door to some of the most historic footprints ever recovered on Earth. That's boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. In a dystopian world where Diamond's got to break it down to you every night on YouTube. What happened with the media? What happened to our society? What happened to the empire? Well, it's about to fail. And they're cutting checks and burying their supplies underground. And you should be too. Become a Patreon, support the work we do, comment below, and share this video. Be a hero. We love you. That's Boo.